The two brain trusts of their respective clubs, Bobby Johnson and Philip Fulmer, get set to match wits today in the Volunteer State Showdown as we come to you from Vanderbilt Stadium, our SEC Game of the Week on Jefferson Pilot Sports. It's the 15th ranked Tennessee Volunteers and the Vanderbilt Commodores. And hello again, everybody. I'm Dave Neal, and welcome to Nashville, Tennessee. It's the 98th meeting between these two clubs, the fourth longest running series in the Southeastern Conference. And Vanderbilt, well, this is it for them for the 2004 season, and it has been a disappointing one, just 2-8 this year. They would like to go out, though, on a very high note with a win today. However, Tennessee has a lot to play for. They're playing for their fourth SEC Eastern Division crown, and a win today will send them back to the Georgia Dome for the first time since 2001 to play Auburn in the SEC title game. Well, joining me, as always, my partner, Dave Rowe. And Dave Rowe, Tennessee comes in here with a lot of injuries, especially offensively up front. The offensive line is banged up, and we all know about the quarterback situation. So today they turn to Rick Clausen, making only his second career start, first in a Tennessee jersey.
Yeah, and Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator, told us that they really didn't have to make a whole lot of changes when Clausen came in for Ainge. They expect him to be prepared, and they expect him to play well, and he did, Dave. And the one thing that can really help Tennessee is the running game. That tailback position, 250 carries, they're averaging over 5 yards. Just give them the ball.
Well, as far as Vanderbilt's concerned, their main guy is a guy that's been beat up, knocked down. But, well, what are your Toyota keys to the game?
Well, first of all, for Tennessee, it's what's up front that counts. The defensive line has manhandled offenses. The offensive line has pounded people. It's the battle of the trenches, Dave, that decides this game. And for Vanderbilt, cut to the chase. Vandy rides on the play of Jay Cutler. He plays well, they stay in the game. He plays fantastic, they have a chance to win.
Well, there is Philip Fulmer, 13th year as the head man at Tennessee, 120-30. That's an 80% winning mark. And there is Bobby Johnson, who is 6-28 in his third year here at Vanderbilt, 66-64, a former Division I AA National Coach of the Year. And there is a disappointing loss for Vanderbilt fans. Moses Asimiji, that brace on his ankle. Well, Tennessee won the toss. They deferred, so Vandy will receive in their all-black uniforms, and they will take it out. Lorenzo Parker to the 15, to the 20. Parker to the 25, out to the 27-yard line. So a nifty return by Parker, and that's where Vanderbilt will set up shop to open up this game. As always, the glue of this operation down on the sidelines. Let's check in with him, Dave Buzz Baker.
Hey, Dave, let's take a look now at our all-tell players to watch throughout the game. Jade Cutler for Vanderbilt, Kevin Burnett for Tennessee. Which one of these players do you think will have the most impact in today's action? To vote, use your all-tell wireless phone. Send a text message to the number on your screen with a letter of the player you choose, or visit jpsports.com to vote online. The results in the second half. Dave, as Vandy goes on offense, you don't see Eric Davis out there. Bobby Johnson told me a few minutes ago he's got the flu. Doesn't know how much he'll be able to go today.
Well, that toss sweep goes to Doster, who gets the start today over Norval McKenzie. Turk McBride, who also gets the start. We'll explain those to you in just a second. But let's take a look at our Chevy starting lineups. Teams have been able to do that this year. So on second down, Doster. That's that front we're talking about at Tennessee. Turk McBride again in on the spot. Now, Turk McBride gets the start today up front for Jesse Mahalona. And that's a late addition to this front four. We didn't get a reason why Mahalona was not starting today. He will play quite a bit. And you see the linebackers, Burnett, Mitchell, and Gaither. Burnett having another spectacular season. And in the secondary, Jason Allen has been all world for that group that's had some problems at that strong safety position. We'll get into that as the game unfolds. On third down, Cutler hit, fumbled the football. Tennessee's got it inside the 10. Flag is down, but Tennessee in business if the play stands. Turk McBride, Paris Harrelson recovers the fumble.
Wow, you talk about how to stop the option play. It's called penetration as we listen to the call.
Holding on the offense, number 76. And penalties decline. First down.
Penetration. Burnett was in there, and you said Harrelson coming off the ball. Look at the penetration in there, right along the line. No place to go. Harrelson comes in there, and Corey Larkins just levels him. Pick up the ball, pick up the first down, get the ball. What a turnover.
Bobby Johnson said his team needed to get off to a good start today. They've done well in the turnover department. They're second in the league, 24th in the country in the turnover margin, but that is a devastating blow. First pass is caught down to the 6-yard line. It goes to Tony Brown, making his 22nd catch of the season. That goes for 12. Our Tennessee lineup looks like this, brought to you by Chevy. Cedric Houston will lead the way in the backfield. We'll see a lot of guys in that department. Up front, Michael Munoz. You see some changes in there. Richie Gandy gets the start at center. Aaron Sears moves to guard, and Toina makes the start at right tackle. And Rick Clausen making his first start in a Tennessee jersey. Handoff up the middle, touchdown Tennessee. Cedric Houston, his 4th rushing touchdown of the season.
Well, David, untouched. He went in the end zone untouched. Blow him off the line. That big offensive line controlling him, locking him up front. Just blow past him and go in the end zone untouched. Come off the football. Look at the hole right here. Nobody near him. Doesn't even get touched. He scampers in.
Reminiscent of the South Carolina Clemson game that is unfolding. Point after by Wilhoy is up and good. South Carolina fumbled the opening kickoff. 2 plays later, Clemson scored against the Gamecocks. Similar situation here. Ball's up by 7. Didn't take very long, but Tennessee capitalizes on an early Vanderbilt mistake. They lead it by a touchdown, and now we'll kick off for the second time. Cedric Houston with his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. Vanderbilt wearing their all-black uniforms for the first time in a couple of years. Last time they wore it was a game against Middle Tennessee State. Wilhoy to kick off. Parker had a nice return to open up the game out over the 25-yard line. What will he do here? He'll get hit at the 17, stay on his feet all the way out to the 20-yard line. Dave, let's go back to that touchdown.
Well, a couple big things here. They're going to run motion across, and look here. But 2 things are going to happen. Watch 52. That's Rob Smith. He's going to pull out, lead in the hole. They're going to down block here. The tight end's going to come across right in there, and there is a hole in there that's that big. Again, you'll see it. There's the down block. Look the pickup. Now look at the tight end and pull right up through the middle. Great block right there by the tight end off the line of scrimmage. Anybody could have run in that hole. That's what that Tennessee has made so famous the last 5 or 6 years, that play.
4-man front. Cutler to throw. Has some time. Fires incomplete at the 26-yard line. Intended for Marlon White, the sophomore out of Macon, Georgia. Coverage from Jonathan Heffney, the true freshman out of Rock Hill, South Carolina.
And Dave, immediately you see Tennessee in that man-to-man press defense. They play man-to-man defense. It gives so much flexibility to the front 7. That's why they've got so many sacks. They got pressure. John Chavis, the defensive coordinator, he'll tell you, we come after people, and their front line, they are making tackles all across that line of scrimmage.
Mahalona in on this series. Of course, didn't start today. Turk McBride got the start. Gaping hole off the right side. Norval McKenzie out close to the 30-yard line. He needed to get across the 30 for the first down. So they'll be short. That'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, just caught him.
Last week, Vanderbilt struggled mightily on 3rd down conversions. Only 2, and both those came in the 3rd quarter, but they convert on this attempt. Jay Cutler on the keeper. Jay is now 3rd all-time in Vanderbilt history in total offense. He needs only 1,300 yards in his final season to pass Greg Zolman, who's the leader in that department. He has a chance to, having a good season next year, rewrite the entire Vanderbilt quarterback records. So out of the I formation on 1st and 10. Flags are down at the line of scrimmage. 7-0. And Miami putting on Wake Forest. Yes. Ouch. And Boston College and Temple. That also in the 1st quarter. So after the 5-yard penalty, that's 2 penalties today against Vanderbilt. However, only 1 accepted. Inside handoff goes to Casey Jackson Garrison, the true freshman. Folks in the tailback down the road. He and another true freshman, Jeff Jennings, who's from just outside of Knoxville. Looked like a bright future in the tailback position for Vandy. Cutler stops, lofts it up, throws it out of bounds.
Well, Tennessee gets pressure on you so quickly. They pull up. Jason Mitchell that time gets pressure from his outside linebacker spot right up in Cutler's face. 35 comes up there, just forces him to throw, and he has to throw it away. Now you put pressure on because you're 3rd down and 8, 3rd down and 9. You need something on your offense. You got to come up with a play. John Chavis, you watch him, he's going to put pressure. He says, hey, we think we can stay to him. Our philosophy is we can stay man-to-man in the 4 deep, so we're going to run with them and put pressure with the backers. We're coming after him.
So on 3rd down and 9, Doster's your tailback, but Vandy will throw it. Inside slant, batted out of there at the last moment. Intended receiver was Brandon Smith, but Jonathan Hefney got his right hand on it and knocked it out of there, and that'll bring up a punting situation.
Great coverage by number 33, Hefney. Going to come from the left of your screen. It's a dart inside. Watch Hefney get that hand inside. Perfect. Just gets the hand right in there, just breaks it away. And again, just knocks the ball away. That's exactly what you want to do. Don't put that other hand up on him. That's pass interference. Well coached.
And Hefney will now go back, return the punt. Tennessee trying to find a spark in the return game, but a bad kick from Optin Aronimus. It hits at the 43-yard line, and that's where it will be down. So Tennessee takes over. Pretty good field position after the 25-yard kick. The Volunteers looking for a berth in the SEC title game, leading 7-0. Back after a word from your local stations. SEC football is brought to you in part by Chevrolet. We're in Nashville, where Tennessee leads at 7-0 over the Vanderbilt Commodores. 10:32 to go in the first quarter. Dave Neal, Dave Rowe, Dave Buzz Baker. Glad you could join us as we get closer to the end of the SEC regular season. And Rick Clausen steps in. Second series for him this afternoon. His first pass of the game falls incomplete. Vanderbilt defense played well the last few weeks. In the secondary, led by Kelechi Ohanija, who missed a couple of games this year with a pulled quadricep, but seems to be close to 100%. And Rick Clausen will call a timeout. That'll be the first taken by Tennessee. Correct myself, he's 0 for 2, or 1 for 2 throwing the football today. Well, we'll return after this message from Pontiac in the G6 driving experience. Well, Smokey made his way west here to Nashville for the game today. There's Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator for Tennessee. Had a nice chat with him on the phone earlier this week.
Yeah, great.
He's taken a little bit of heat lately, but as he said, he'll weather the storm. He expects it when you're the offensive coordinator for the Vols. That handoff gets it to midfield, a gain of 8. Cedric Houston with a big chunk of yardage. Cedric having a pretty good year. I mean, he leads his team in rushing. He and Riggs are very close in that department, but he's averaging 6 yards a carry. You see what he's done all the time, 9th. And there have been some great tailbacks coming out of that program over the years. But anytime you can average 6 yards a carry as much as he does, carries the football, that's pretty good stuff.
You better believe it. That means 2 things. You're getting to the line fast. You're breaking tackles.
Well, on 3rd down and 3, Clausen will work out of the shotgun. The left-hander fires. Pass is caught. Good enough for a first down. C.J. Phaeton gets popped by Kevin Joyce, but that'll move the chains.
What they do in this play is just a 3-step drop. He's going to drop real quick. Look out there. They're just getting ready to get the first down. Again, the little curl. As soon as he comes open, watch him just turn. Now I'm open. Throw the ball. Good coverage back there, but they're just interested in getting 4 or 5 yards. No problem. Pick up the first down. Move the chains. He does his job.
I got it out.
First down and 10 inside Vanderbilt territory. Here's the handoff to Houston. He falls forward to the 41-yard line. Jonathan Goff, the freshman from Lynn, Massachusetts, makes the tackle. Had a career-high 9 stops last week against Kentucky, but has started the last 3 games.
Looking at Javon Hay, he's double-teamed right there. You just got to get down, fight in there. But I'll tell you this, Tennessee will attack that middle as long as they have success. When you can pick up 4 or 5 yards, Javon Hay's going to be making tackles to his right side, down inside.
You see those numbers, Javon, way down from a year ago. Swing it out to Houston, makes a man miss, picks up the first down, falls inside the 30. That'll be a gain of at least 10, we'll give him 17.
Boy, missed tackles, Dave, will kill you. Out in the flat, you're going to watch this. He's going to come out in the flat, dump the ball to him, and watch the coverage. He's got good coverage. He comes right up in there. Harrison, the linebacker, misses the tackle. The result is about 12 yards. He should have had him for about maybe a yard or two gain.
First down and 10. Here's Houston again. Cedric getting the bulk of the work here in the first quarter. Takes it to the 25-yard line. Gain of about 4.5. Hurley Harrison makes the tackle for the Commodores. Vanderbilt on their opening series fumbles the football on the third down, and that's when Tennessee picked up the fumble, and 2 plays later, the Vols would be able to take it in. Cedric Houston basically untouched with the touchdown, and that is the only score to this point. Dawson lofts it up in the corner, looking for Robert Meacham. Overthrew him. Bill Alford on the coverage.
And Dave, to me, it's nice to see Clausen under pressure, a little bit of pressure, throwing out there. They're throwing safe passes. They're not trying to test him. He doesn't have to win the game by himself. So he's playing a very controlled game. Hand the ball off, give it to Cedric Houston up the middle. That's what they do best. When you get a chance, throw a safe pass.
Well, Clausen 3 of 5 for 27 yards to open up the game as we approach the 8th play of this drive on 3rd down and 6.
And he needs a big down right here. They need a stop. Got to get somebody to get pressure on him.
Clausen rolls, fires, passes. They'll say caught at the 11-yard line by Jason Swain, but an injured player. Michael Munoz slow to get up. Munoz has been nicked up really since he came to Tennessee. I mean, he has fought through numerous injuries. Matter of fact, he missed a game with a concussion.
There's Munoz, 77. He's just sliding out here. Let's see if he gets, well, he cuts underneath there. You don't really see it. Oh, shoulder. You see him reach up for that shoulder? Now, this was a hit. I want to tell you, Swain took a hit right there. And to hold on to that football, boy, that is. Now, again, there's Munoz again. Watch him when he goes down. Watch him reach for that shoulder. See that arm underneath him? Now, watch him reach up to that left shoulder. He reaches up to it. Might have been the right shoulder, excuse me, but something. Maybe he can shake that off.
The handoff goes to Houston. He will score. 11 yards. The second touchdown of the day for Cedric Houston and the Tennessee Volunteers.
Well, David, on that run, Cedric Houston made a great decision. He saw a tight end block down inside. Coming down inside, it was a good block right there on the left of your screen. That was Victor McClure, the tight end, and Houston just bent it back to the outside, saw it clear. Great block by number 83, Victor McClure.
So Will Hoyt comes back in for a point after. And the kick is up, and it is good. And Tennessee with 2 solid drives, one a lot shorter than the other, but they looked impressive nonetheless and result in a touchdown. 14-0 Tennessee. We'll return after these messages from Vanderbilt and Tennessee. This is a deep kick that will send Parker to the back of the end zone. He will take a knee. Well, Tennessee's last drive covered 58 yards, 9 plays, just under 3 minutes. Cedric Houston, big part of that with 5 touches. And that successful drive means another $500 to the SEC's education initiative, courtesy of Safe Auto Insurance Company. Call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO, and you too can be a successful driver.
And Dave, for Vanderbilt right now, it's think about the basics. If you're going to run the football, you got to run plays that'll work. You got to talk to those big offensive linemen up there in front. Tell them that you need holes, you need protection. I told you that they're going to ride the arm of Jay Cutler or the legs if he is able to get outside on the option. He needs to step up right now, number 6.
0 for 3 this afternoon. Pass is caught. Brandon Smith out to the 30, and that'll be a first down. But Dave, can they stick to the running game down 14, or are they going to have to just start heaving it down the field?
No, they don't need to heave it downfield. 14 points is not an insurmountable lead. They just need to come down the field. They need to move the chains, take the pressure off their defense.
Let's check in with Dave Baker. Has more on an injured Tennessee ball.
Yeah, good news on Michael Munoz, Dave. There's no subluxation, no separation. The orthopedic doctors looked at the shoulder. It is a contusion, though. It is painful, but they are saying that Michael Munoz will probably return to this one.
Well, of course, we are closing into the regular season, which means the SEC football championship game is just around the corner in 2 weeks. And like last year, we'll be there to bring you a preview of the big game. SEC Championship Saturday, presented by our friends from Chick-fil-A, will air live at noon on Saturday, December 4th from the SEC Fan Fair at the Georgia World Congress Center. Check local listings for the station in your area. Dave Baker, Dave Rowe, myself will be there hosting the show. So if you're in Atlanta, come on by and see us. Just don't bring anything that might hurt us. And there's a lot of fun, interactive game skills to test your skills. Some games. Look at Buzz. See, Buzz needs some help in that department. First of all, I think if he wants to make the play, he's got to get off the golf cart.
Yeah, all he's doing is sticking his head above it.
And you need to get rid of the microphone, which will be something that'll be difficult to do with Buzz. Buzz, did you? How long did it take you to heal from that experience last year?
There's no healing. Listen, if you're entrusted with a young little baby, you can make the play from the golf cart.
Yes, you can. Oh, mercy. Out of the I formation, Vanderbilt. First down and 10 from the 31. Cutler under pressure, steps up, hit as he throws. Pass falls incomplete. But once again, Tennessee's pressure comes from somebody in their front four. This time it was Turk McBride along with Carlton Neal.
Yeah, watch Cutler now. He's got to step up. Now, you got to know where that line of scrimmage is. He steps up, and just as he's going to throw it, you see McBride and the gang, Neal, come in there and crush him. Got to step up. I was surprised that he didn't run that time. I thought he could have run for 8 or 10 yards.
Vandy's average per play not getting it done. So second down and 10. 3 receivers in the game, 2 to the near side, but he'll hand it off to Doster. Dancing around and runs right into the big chest and arms of Kevin Burnett, the 6'3", 230-pound senior out of Carson, California, who's having another spectacular year. Second in the league in tackles per game at 9.5 per contest.
And Dave, one of the things about a linebacker is you got to move around. Watch Burnett, number 2. Slide up here, play off the black. Good extension with that arm. Comes up. When he wraps you up, you go down.
He doesn't miss many tackles.
No.
Was down the field earlier this year, but has moved up to the booth area. Pass is caught by Brandon Smith, but he gets hit hard at the 40. They'll spot him at the good spot, close to the 43-yard line. If that's the spot, that'll be a first down.
And he sees it, just quick arms it. You get into that open, Brandon Smith found that little seam in the zone. I live in the dark.
That's a good spot, favorable
spot. That was a real good spot.
Second catch for Smith today.
Boy, I like Cutler's read on that. Quick read, find him, and bang, just zing it to him.
Contact made up front. Turk earlier this year, but due to just the lack of depth, they move him to tackle. He's played great there. He says, you know, he needs a little more size to play that spot, but he doesn't want to get too big because he wouldn't mind going back out and playing defensive end.
Yeah, so you can play defensive end at 260, 265. You get to the 280 and you're back inside tackle.
McKenzie tripped up. Not much happening on that play. Might have lost a yard. Omar Gaither comes in to make the critical stop.
Yeah, Gaither comes off the line, number 44. He's going to stick it. But watch the dancing, the happy feet right in there. You see there's no place to go. Stand in the hole. Gaither 44 is right there. These running backs for Vandy are not hitting the hole with speed. They're kind of up there kind of dancing, trying to look and see where the seam is. And Tennessee has such great defensive speed, they react and they tackle in the backfield.
That play lost a yard, so it's 2nd and 6. Cutler over the middle. Has Brandon Smith. That's a first down to the 40-yard line. 3 catches, 36 yards this season, having a pretty good campaign. The senior out of New Orleans. Here's McKenzie. Nowhere to run. Boy, that defensive front, there's nothing there.
Well, if you can't hit the hole quick, if you don't hit the hole quick, you're not going to run parallel on a line of scrimmage against Tennessee. They move to the ball well. That's Justin Harrell, number 92. He moves, he gets great arm extension. They just run you left to right, and you don't pick up any yards.
8th play of this drive for Bobby Johnson's club. They're in Tennessee territory for the first time this afternoon. 4:11 to go here in the opening quarter. Cutler backpedals, fires, lofts it up, passes caught at the 28, and a flag is down. He hit Chris Young, the senior out of Batesville, Mississippi, makes the play. And he has Vanderbilt knocking on the door. 8 plays on this drive. Here's number 9. It's the handoff to the fullback, Kason Jackson Garrison gets a couple. Ferris Harrelson makes the stop.
And Dave, when you get down and almost into this 4-down territory, you have got to come away with points. You can't drive down here against a great team like Tennessee and not get points. Got to get at least a field goal.
Second down and 8. McKenzie's the tailback. Tant the fullback out of the I formation. 4-man front. Here's the toss sweep. McKenzie cuts it back, has some room to the 20 and slips down at the 19-yard line. First this year.
Absolutely, I think we are. I think we're in 4-down territory. You're going for it, like you say, 3rd and 4th down.
11th play. Little option. Flag is down. Here's McKenzie. He has the first down inside the 15.
Dave, that's the best I've seen McKenzie run. Put that head down. Make that extra yardage. He got hit right about where the first down marker was and picked up about 4 yards. 4 yards after the hit.
Tennessee in 3 years. The last 3 games, they've been outscored 110-0. Bobby Johnson has never seen his club put points on the board against the Vols. They're sniffing it now.
From the Tennessee 11-yard line.
Oh, here comes an audible. You see Cutler walk up there and start yelling. He looked back to the bench, saw what the coaches saw, and here comes the audible.
Out of the shotgun, Cutler lofts it up to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Commodores. Marlon White, 11 yards out, his second touchdown reception of the year.
Credit to coaches up in the box for making this call because Cutler didn't see it. Then all of a sudden, Marlon White. And it's a perfectly thrown ball. Look at that great look in there. He's got coverage by Robert Bullware on him. Again, he's going to go right out at the top of your screen there. And watch him just look that ball in. Bullware coming on him. Can't catch up. Boy, now that ought to give you a spark, Dave.
A long time.
Yeah.
Point after is no good. He missed it left.
Man.
Patrick Johnson misses the extra point. He's now 18 of 22 on the year. And Vandy has had some kicking woes of late.
We just consider that an automatic, and it's not an automatic. That really changes the complexion of the game.
Well, missed an extra point last week, and they lose 14-13. Bobby Johnson told us yesterday that despite some of these problems in the kicking game, he has confidence in Patrick Johnson. He's kicked well in practice, and the bottom line is you got to make those. Another big game going on, a rivalry. The Palmettos here, it's 14-6 with 2:13 to go in the first quarter. Abtina Radamesh will kick it off. David Yancey back to return the kickoff. That will hit at the 4, bounce around. Yancey has to chase it down, and the good kick means good coverage. And for Vanderbilt, a good result. Kason Jackson Garrison will get credit for the special team stop after the 11-yard return, but that's why I think a lot of teams use 2 safeties back to return the edge off of Tennessee. They need to get that edge back.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard. I mean, it's you've been there when you score as easily as they did, stop Vanderbilt as quickly and easily as you did. You lose a little bit of that edge. And the handoff goes to Gerald Riggs, who gets his first carry. Let's check back in with Buzz.
You know, you've got Tennessee in a position now with a victory. They could get into the championship game, Dave. Michael Munoz, that shoulder's causing him a lot of pain. But right after that Vanderbilt score, he's right back in there at that left tackle spot.
You know, he missed the South Carolina game with a concussion. Came back against Notre Dame and said he had his worst game he's had at Tennessee in that Notre Dame game, and really wanted to come out today and redeem himself.
Well, I played years against his dad, and let me tell you, if he's got the spirit of his dad, he's a warrior, because his father was, boy, you talk about one tough hombre.
Riggs stopped, no gain. Aaron Carter, the senior. See, looking at a third down. They're perfect today, 2 of 2, and there is Bruce Fowler, the defensive coordinator.
Now you got to get pressure on him. You can't sit back.
Lawson fires on the run. Pass is caught. Missed tackle, first down. Brett Smith takes it out over the 25-yard line, and that will be a first down.
Dave, all Bill Alford, number 7, had to do was break down. You see him pointing to himself. Don't point to yourself now. He's out in the flat. You're going to see it's going to run out here. There's the man that's going to get the ball. Now, when you come up, right there, he's got it. Now break down. Don't slide on by him. Break down. He's got to make 8 yards on the play. You got to tackle him short.
It's been raining on and off the past couple of days here in Nashville, and you see a little wet turf. That handoff off the right side to Riggs gets a couple of yards. And a flag is down on the near side. Vanderbilt's the least penalized team in the league. 41.5 yards per game. Philip Fulmer knows this as well as anybody. This Vanderbilt team, despite 2-8, they've been in these games. They've lost 4 games by a total of 10 points. They've had the lead or been tied at halftime 7 times this year.
Yeah, they said we're 7-1 at halftime. I mean, and they do play well in the first half, but they fade in the second. They can't fade today. Got to come after them.
Riggs is stopped, no gain. A lot of black jerseys. Matt Clay led the charge, along with Aaron Byram. A couple of seniors playing in their final game in a Vanderbilt jersey. And that'll do it for the end of the quarter. Tennessee with 2 quick drives and a costly Vanderbilt turnover. They lead it 14-6 in the battle for the Volunteer State. Tennessee trying to gain that berth to the SEC title game. Second quarter action is on the way. 14-6, Tennessee out in front. We move to the second quarter here in Nashville on an overcast day, but a pleasant day for football. The last couple of years, this game has been a home game for Vanderbilt. The last 2 times, and they played over where the Tennessee Titans play, but they have moved it back on campus this year.
As we start the second quarter of play, it'll be 2nd and 13, Tennessee from the 45-yard line.
So Clausen continues on at quarterback. The left-hander on second down fires. Pass is caught to the 35-yard line. Robert Meacham. That's a gain of 11. They'll be about 3 yards shy of the first down. Our Gatorade first quarter stats look like this. Not much there, but the time of possession. That last drive by Vanderbilt, 12 plays, 80 yards, almost 5.5 minutes.
Dave, I'm looking at total yards, 88, 78. That's not bad. Vanderbilt's playing with them. Now can they continue to play with them?
Hey, well, Rick Lawson looks comfortable as the quarterback. You wouldn't know that he has been a spectator for most of his career. Pass is caught. Tony Brown has some room to midfield and falls forward to the 45-yard line. Tripped up by Bill Alford, but a first down after the gain of 20.
Dave, if you want to take pressure off your quarterback, you do 3-step drops. Watch Clausen come off the ball. He drops 3 steps. Now he's got to find his wide receiver. You'll see him just curl in right there. Just curls in. Now make a big target. That takes pressure off the quarterback because you're not having to read the pattern deep, throw it on the run, and those kind of things. Good selection by Tennessee.
Tennessee now 4 of 4 on third down conversions, and Rick Clausen 6 of 8 for 84 yards. Dave, I'm really impressed with his game management. Randy Sanders told us he did a wonderful job of that last week against Notre Dame, and feels comfortable that they can run their entire package with Rick Clausen. And Gerald Riggs gets the carry out inside the 40-yard line, but he does. I mean, you see so many times a third-team guy get in a game, and he looks like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah, exactly. But Clausen, he gets reps, but he doesn't get the reps that a first or second-team quarterback will get. But Randy Sanders told us that the main thing was when he had to come in for injured Ainge, he did not have to change the offensive game plan. Stayed right with it. And Clawson's stats were good in that game, Dave.
Riggs on the carry. Theo Horrocks brings him down. That'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down. And the guy who's listed as the backup, C.J. Leak, was the guy listed as the starter heading into fall practice. There is C.J., but after he got moved down the depth chart, he went over to the defensive side of the ball, tried to make him tried to find a spot for him anywhere on the football field.
Well, he's a talented athlete, and credit him. When they had the two quarterbacks hurt, he came right back and said, "Coach, where can I help you most?" Backup quarterback.
Riggs has daylight to the 20, to the 10, knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line by Dominique Morris. He nearly took it to the house, a gain of 31 for number 31.
Boy, a great move by Riggs. What he does is he's patient. Watch 31 when he comes up into the hole. Watch this, he's going to come up here. Now look how patient he is. He waits for the hole to open. Now, see, he's upfield here, good block in here, and he's got the outside made. And he just kind of waited for it to develop, Dave. And now you use that speed. Or tailback. That's the spot for Tennessee.
Cedric Houston back in the game at tailback on 1st and goal. Handoff off the left side. Houston spins. Touchdown, Tennessee. His 3rd today.
Boy, and a great block up front by the offensive line. Gandy, the replacement center, he gets a great block. The right guard, Rob Smith, does. You can see him, he just dances inside there, but the hole at the point of attack, there's the good block right over there. And again, just come back inside. Look at that spin move in. That is so difficult to do when you're running full speed. To twist like that, got to have great balance.
Cedric Houston has doubled his touchdown output here in the first half alone. 10 plays, 87 yards, 448. I would say Tennessee got their edge back. 21-6. 21-6, 15th ranked Tennessee out in front, and they answered right back. Vanderbilt goes 80 yards, makes it 14-6, and then Tennessee put it all together, Dave. And I tell you what, Rick Clawson, 7 of 9, 84 yards. He's hit 6 different receivers. I mean, that is an impressive. I don't care who you're playing. That's good stuff in this league.
Exactly. That's what you have to do, Dave. When you get challenged, Tennessee answered the challenge. They came right back with a great drive, and as you said, they got their edge back.
Yeah. Will Hoyt will kick it off again. Parker runs to the far side, and good kickoff. That will go through the end zone. Vandy will take it out to the 20-yard line. There is Brent Schaefer, who was in street. Eric Ainge also here as well, but Brent Schaefer is a young man that they say 4 to 6 weeks with his shoulder problem. He'll see the doctors again next week, and Dave, I tell you what, I think there's a pretty good chance, just of my personal thought, that we'll see him go back to practice for the week of the SEC championship game. There is Eric Ainge. You see what he's done, his numbers this year. He has 17 touchdowns, a freshman record, and he's just shy of Casey Clawson's yardage total for a freshman quarterback. But I really believe that we'll see Schaefer back for the SEC title game. It's just my feeling.
Well, here, I'll throw one on you. What if Clawson keeps on playing like he's doing?
Good point. Loose football. Tennessee may have it.
There is one rule in football. You cannot carry the ball like a loaf of bread. You've got to protect the football. You can't have the football get ripped out.
His second fumble today.
Look, see, he's careless with it. Look at the ball. It's out already. It's gone. And that's, if there's one criticism on Jay Cutler, it's the way he carries the ball. He's fearless back there, but when you're under heavy traffic, that ball just gets knocked out. He doesn't have huge hands. It's just going to get popped out of there. You've got to put it away.
2 turnovers today, both by Cutler when he's under pressure.
Boy, look at the field position you give Tennessee. Wow.
Clawson fires, knocked away. Good defensive play at the last moment by Dominique Morris, the junior from right here in Nashville. Chris Hannon was the intended target.
Boy, nice coverage. Dominique Morris, number 10. You're going to see it top of your screen. Now watch, he's going to cut back out to the outside. Watch Dominique Morris. Now don't put that hand on him. Look at him reach with that left hand. Just swat the ball away. Outstanding. Now that's the way you play.
Look at Tennessee's first 3 possessions. That last drive was very impressive. 87 yards. Here's Cedric Houston. He's met at the line of scrimmage by Jovan Hay. Good to see Jovan making a play. The junior from Fort Lauderdale. 45 tackles this year, 3.5 stops.
Absolutely, you can promise that.
Tennessee perfect on 3rd down conversions.
Got to get pressure.
4 receivers near side, set up a little screen. C.J. Phaeton, touchdown, but a flag comes flying it in late. We'll see if it stands.
I'm wondering if a lineman was downfield. That's the only thing that could have been thrown there. Was no receiver. Oh, boy. Holding against Tennessee. What a great call by Philip Fulmer.
Nice play.
Yeah, he knew they were going to come with pressure up the center, so he does that little slip screen out to the flat. One of his linemen or one of the receivers gets caught for a holding.
And about 12 yards from the 20-yard line.
Now, I've been in this situation. If you're Randy Sanders, what do? I think you go right back and just come right back and throw that ball, maybe a little dart pattern across the field. But I think if you're defense, I think you've got to come after him. I think you've got to get pressure on Clausen.
Straight drop, fires over the middle, touchdown Tennessee.
Boy.
20 yards to Jason Swain. And it's 27-6.
And Clausen under a little bit of pressure that time with Jovan Hay, but he just finds Swain. Number 1, there he is. Watch him just dart and a post. Look how he's open right now. Where in the world's the safety going? What's he doing? He's 5 yards in the back in the end zone. You can't back up like that. You give, but you gotta come up.
First touchdown pass for Rick Clausen. Point after is up, and it is good. Tennessee has been given a couple of gifts, and they have taken advantage. This time, Clausen goes to Swain. We'll return after a word from your local stations. Overcast day. A little rain this morning, but pretty good day for some football. A cool afternoon here in Nashville, a great city. Tennessee leading 28-6, second quarter football. Tennessee has now scored on every drive this afternoon. 11:17 to go here in the second quarter. Lorenzo Parker's been a busy man chasing these kickoffs. You could say the same for James Wilhoit. His 5th kickoff today. And Parker will take a knee on the Sea of Commodores, and Vandy will bring it out to the 20-yard line once again. Well, coming up Saturday at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central, an SEC East border battle between the Wildcats and the Volunteers. Kentucky looking for their first win over the Vols since 1984, while Tennessee hopes to close out the regular season with a win before heading to the SEC championship game. Kentucky and Tennessee on Jefferson Pilot Sports, 12:30 Eastern. Now log on to jpsports.com and click.
Who am I to correct you?
Exactly.
Never.
Jay Cutler, by the way, Dave, has taken his fair share of lumps and bruises and nicks and knacks and gotten up and continues on. But these 2 fumbles have been very costly today.
You give Tennessee field position like that, they're going to score.
First pass caught. Brandon Smith has some room, being chased. Smith, he will go the distance, 80 yards, no flags. Smith broke a couple of tackles and then outran Jonathan Way.
Oh, and this Bobby Johnson got to be excited about that. He needed some kind of a spark. He needed something to happen well, and he just got it. They've run that little dart in several times. He's had good success with it. That time Cutler hit him perfect, right on the run. Not bad coverage. Just he broke one tackle, and he was off. Nobody's going to catch him.
Eric Davis, as we told you, their leading receiver out with Illness today, a little bit of touch of the flu. Brandon Smith is picked up to slack as Vandy goes for two. Cutler fires, and they got it. Marlon White on the receiving end of that two-point conversion. And Vanderbilt, in less than 20 seconds, has made it a 32-14 or 28-14 game.
Well, it's that same dart inside. Now, when he breaks that tackle right there, Brandon passes well, they have a chance. That's the only chance they have. Their running game is not productive today, but they're going to ride and win if they have a chance to come back in this game on Jay Cutler.
Hieronymus kicks off. David Yancey will return it to the 22-yard line. Football fans, register for your chance to win $1 million in the Bell South.
They got to come out, get a 3 and out. If you're Rick Clausen in Tennessee, you want to go right back to what you did in that last drive or the drive before.
You see those numbers.
Yeah.
His first start came at LSU before he transferred to Tennessee. Went 2 of 6 in that game. His second start's gone much differently. Out over the 25 to the 27-yard line goes Cedric Houston.
When you watch defenses play against this Tennessee team, you just don't see those defensive linemen breaking into the backfield. Because those linemen are so big in there, they zone block, come off the ball, just kind of block side by side. It's just like a wave coming at you. You look at the size of them, 300 pounds, all of them, straight across the board.
From the 26-yard line.
2nd and 6. Clausen fires. Pass is caught. Robert Meacham driven back. They will spot it at the 30. That'll be 3 yards shy of the first down.
What you see Kevin Joyce come in there, he's filling in for Osimwuji, and he is, I mean, they like him. They say this kid can really play. He's just a sophomore, 6'3", about 220. Want him to gain a little bit, but they said he's got great range, speed, and he's just coming after him. And
they really worked with him, but he just couldn't go.
Boy, this is a big down day.
3rd down and 2. They've been perfect today on 3rd down conversions. They'll keep it that way. I don't know that Meacham, I was waiting for the whistle to blow. It was late coming in, but it'll be a first down. They'll spot it at the 40. Bill Alford on the coverage, gain of 10.
Boy, that surprises me. I thought for sure they'd go with a running play. They've eaten up the middle, and they come with that little pass. You know, you're in no man's land if you're a defensive back. If you come up, he'll break it by you. But if he doesn't come up, they're going to make that. It's 2 yards, and Clausen has been he's been a dart on that little cross pattern. Inside, big targets, finding them.
11 of 14 now.
Boy, and I like Rick Clausen, his vision down there. He's not playing like a third-team quarterback.
Going up top, looking for the home run. Picked off. What an interception from Dominique Morris. Stride for stride with Jason Swain, and he comes up with a big play. Tennessee going for the touchdown.
Clausen looking off to his right and then just throws it up. This is an up for grabs. This is his first bad decision going long. But credit Morris, high at the point, comes down with the ball. Again, not under any pressure, just throws it up there. It's high. And look at Morris playing that inside position. Boy, that is a good catch. Good concentration. Look the ball in. Now, can he get and Cutler and company come right back? That's the first mistake I've seen from Clausen.
You know, we talk about players filling up the stat sheet in basketball. Dominic Morris has done that from his quarterback position. I'll give you some of those numbers in a minute, but here's the option. Cutler will give it to McKenzie. Gets to the 30, to the 32-yard line. A gain.
Vanderbilt right now. Ran 9 yards on that first carry. That's big against Tennessee.
We'll credit McKenzie with 9 on that carry, so sets up a 2nd and short, and he will get the first down out to the 35. A monumental season back in 1989.
Tar Heels trying to lock up a bowl game.
Cutler fires to his tight end, Jonathan Lloyd, who's been playing better and better each week.
Hey, Cutler's got a little bit more bounce. You're seeing that they're making cutbacks a little bit better. Lines give them a little bit of protection. Those scores, and Bobby Johnson will be the first one to tell you, if you don't score and a team runs it up on you, you just kind of takes all the wind out of your sails. You get a big play like they got on that last series, and now you come right back. If they get a score in here or something, they can come back in this football game. This ain't out of range.
What are you going to do?
Doster inside handoff. Quade out to midfield. That's a first down. Pretty even. Vanderbilt with 184, of course. A big chunk of that came on the touchdown pass. And there's Chris Young, the senior receiver, slow to leave the field. This pass is caught by Marlon White. He's still on his feet. They'll spot him at the 42-yard line. On second and short, Vanderbilt lines up. Single setback is Jeff Jennings. He'll get the handoff. Jennings inside the 40, and that will be good enough for the first down.
Right now, they're not getting off blocks. They're not moving to the ball.
So Vanderbilt will go with an all-true freshman backfield with Jeff Jennings and Casey Jackson Garrison as they look at the 7th play of this drive from just inside the Tennessee 40. Here's the toss sweep to Jennings. Jennings falls forward to the 25-yard line. That's at Jefferson County High School, 30 minutes east of Knoxville. This time, nowhere. Turk McBride picks him up and says, hello, my friend.
Well, and that's exactly what defense needs. They need somebody like a Turk McBride, number 90, right there. Step it up. Watch this. Come in there, catch him. And when you catch him, you just don't place him on the ground. You rip him on the ground. See if they can get a spark, if Tennessee can get a spark from that.
Well, Vanderbilt had been having nice success on first down on this drive. Not that time. Turk McBride makes a big play. A timeout taken by Tennessee with 4:27 to go before halftime. Vandy, that's his 5th catch today for Brandon Smith.
Dave, sometimes Cutler gets killed on this play. Watch him. He's standing up there. He's got pressure on him. He goes down. But Brandon Smith, number 80, watch him again. He's used this little curl pattern where he gets separation. And he is, I mean, it's almost like he's playing in a zone. All of a sudden, he has just come up with catch after catch. He's not dropped anything.
So Eric Davis comes in for Brandon Smith as they look at a contact in his eye, perhaps. On 3rd down and 2. Handoff. First down, Vanderbilt. Jeff Jennings.
Sicker and all get out, and it's really becoming a factor, but the guys are putting in are making plays.
Cutler fires in the air. Incomplete, but a flag comes down. Brandon Smith, the intended target. He was covered by Rashawn Fellows. And we'll see if Rashawn got there a little early.
Pass interference.
So that penalty will take it down to about the 3-yard to the 2-yard line. Pass interference in the end zone. 1st and goal now for Vanderbilt. They're knocking on the door as the clock sits at 3:07. Here's the option. The toss to Jennings. Touchdown, Commodores. Are you kidding me?
Boy, and a great block on the outside by his fullback, Matthew Tant, on the play. Tant comes outside. He's going to knock him.
And Patrick Johnson misses the point after again.
I want to tell you something. I think I'd probably go for 2. If I got an extra point kicker that's missing them, golly, that's rough.
Well, Vanderbilt making some noise. They now trail by 8. We'll return after this message from the SEC. Hefney back deep. Ball bounces at the 4. Here's Hefney out to the 30-yard line, and that's where he has run out of bounds. Well, all season long, you had the chance to register and win a brand new Polaris. I wonder if he knew that before we announced it.
He knew it.
Huh?
He's probably driving it.
Yeah, that's right. Vanderbilt defense stands up, makes the play. Cedric Houston, not much on the carry. Kevin Joyce leads the charge.
Yeah, Joyce is at number 40 we talked about. Now, you don't want to put a lot of pressure on Clausen, but you need a good drive here. 2:25 left and counting. Need to move the chains. Don't give Vanderbilt too much life going into the locker room. It's an audible.
Clausen will throw it. 5-step drop. That falls.
Showed up. Let's see if they come with that. Let's also see if Vanderbilt sits back. Because if I'm Vanderbilt, I wouldn't sit back. I'd come after him. They'd make him throw it fast.
Phaeton goes in motion out of the shotgun. Here's Clausen rolling. Lofts it up. Incomplete. Had nowhere to go with it. Pressure came from Jonathan Goff, the middle.
And Vanderbilt loves Jonathan Goff, number 47. They said he runs through the football fast. He gets there, and that time he pressured him into a bad throw.
Let's check in with Dave Baker.
Dave, you talked about Dustin Colquitt, the fact he's been bothered all week by that pulled groin. He took very few kicks, only just a couple to get loose in practice. It'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, he didn't practice all week. John Henderson is his backup if need be. Looks fine on that kick. High hanging kick that Morris will receive at the 33, and Dominique takes it out over the 40-yard line. It's pretty good field position now for Vanderbilt. A 39-yard punt, a 9-yard return. The Commodores down 8. Have a minute 51 to go before halftime. They have a couple of timeouts left. Tennessee has 1 timeout remaining, but 2 for the Commodores.
Now for Jay Cutler, don't make a mistake. You've got momentum on your side. If you're Tennessee, you need something big to happen. See if you can force Cutler into making a mistake. But if I'm Cutler, I'm sure looking at number 80, Brandon Smith. He's been the hoss so far.
Marlon White in motion into the slot. The Cutler throws far side. Pass is caught by Chris Young, who Buzz told you moments ago was over on the sidelines and having some health issues.
Fragile team. One thing turns the complexion of a football game. Now, Tennessee in this game, they've got to get some pressure on. You remember all those sacks that their linemen have? They don't have a sack today. They're not getting to Jay Cutler.
All the time to throw. Pass is caught to Quane Doster. He gets to midfield, and they'll mark him inside Tennessee territory at the 49. But Doster, Cutler hobbling around. Yeah. He has a sprained ankle. Didn't know if he'd go last week against Kentucky. He has an ankle sprain, but said to feel pretty close to 100% coming into this one, but obviously got that ankle tweaked. There's the sack you're talking about, Dave. And that comes from up front, Paris Harrelson, his 6th sack of the season, and the 29th for this club, and 21 of those have come from the front 4.
Absolutely. Around the horn, right side. Harrelson, he's got that great speed. Comes all the way around the pocket and makes the sack. Big players make big plays. That's how you change a football game.
We talked to John Chavis about that front 4 with their accumulation of 21 sacks, and he says he's never had an opportunity, never seen his front 4 have that many sacks. But right now, Bobby Johnson and company letting this clock tick down. He didn't want to take a chance, and he realizes on 4th and 6, he's got a banged-up quarterback, doesn't want to do something foolish at this point.
Exactly right. You want to go down, you go into the locker room 8 points down, run the clock down. Why give Tennessee any extra time? I was surprised that Tennessee doesn't call timeout on the situation. They had 1 timeout. They could have saved probably close to 30 seconds and gotten the ball back.
Well, there's a lot of news around the Southeastern Conference. Of course, a lot of it revolves around the speculation of what will happen in South Carolina and Columbia on Monday. Busy today.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. You know, you heard the big fella talking a few minutes ago about why Tennessee didn't call a timeout. What the Vols have done offensively near the end of the half has been the subject of much discussion the last several weeks. We saw that big hitter they hit against South Carolina, and then, of course, the Eric Ainge injury the following week. And Randy Sanders, we'll talk about it some more during the game, but talked about how he's dealt with that and the fact that Philip Fulmer signed off on the call, but it has not lessened the discussion about it over the last several weeks in Rocky Top.
Well, nobody was back to field that punt for Tennessee. They just let it go down inside the 5-yard line. They'll run a play, and we'll go to the locker room. That was a 50-yard kick by Optina Radamesh. But there is Randy Sanders. And I mentioned it early, you know, he knows what's coming his way. When you're the offensive coordinator at a major Southeastern Conference institution, you're going to have people second-guessing and criticizing and being critical. And Buzz, he seemed to handle it okay. I mean, he didn't seem too disturbed about it.
He really did, Dave. He said, you know, you can't go at it scared. You know, the week before, it really turned the momentum of that South Carolina game. They thought they had a good play called. He said, you don't expect a low snap. You don't expect the quarterback to have to turn his head. Philip Fulmer said, in hindsight, 9 times out of 10, I'd do what he did right there, and that's take a knee. But, you know, they're not second-guessing. It's unfortunate, but Rick Clausen, with the exception of that interception, has played well.
Yeah, Rick Clausen has done a nice job for that man, Philip Fulmer. His team, though, let Vanderbilt get back into this. It was 28-6, but Vandy responds. It's an 8-point game, and Vanderbilt has scored for the first time in 3 years. Let's check in with Dave Baker as he waits on Philip Fulmer to make his way down. And let's check in with Buzz.
Coach, you were able to set the tempo early on, but then they got some things going offensively later.
We give up the big play there and the turnover, and that let them back in it, and they've done a good job. We've got to bore our neck defensively and stop them. We knew coming in, they're a pretty good offensive team.
Except for the one pass, though, Rick's done a nice job, I think, managing the offense.
Nice job. He really has, yes, he has.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. That's Philip Fulmer. 28-20. His Tennessee Volunteers lead the Vanderbilt Commodores. We're coming back to Nashville right after this. Tennessee Volunteers just needing a victory over Vanderbilt this afternoon to wrap up the SEC Eastern Division Championship, but a less than happy Philip Fulmer heading to the locker room because his Vols, who had a big lead early, now only have an 8-point margin over the Vanderbilt Commodores by a count of 28-20. Dave Baker back here with you at Vanderbilt Stadium. It was a Tennessee team coming in here being led not by one of the 2 hotshot freshman quarterbacks who have been injured, but by Rick Clausen, the man who's been called upon again, and he has done a nice job of managing this offense. Clausen said earlier in the week that he believed that he could make sure this team didn't get into bad plays. He's only had one of those when he threw that interception, but he got his first touchdown pass on that nice look over the middle. 11 of 17, 124 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, but that proved to be a big one. Vanderbilt with trouble in the kicking game, but the Commodores have been able to get the offense going, and they trail Tennessee by a count of just 28-20. All right, folks, let's head to Lexington now for our McDonald's I'm Loving It celebration of the week. Last week, the Cats looking to get their first conference win. Just minutes to go. Here's Tom Leach. They were loving it in Lexington, and that's our McDonald's I'm Loving It celebration of the week. The Tennessee Volunteers are hoping to celebrate today, but the Commodores of Vanderbilt, they've still got something to say about that. A good one here on rivalry weekend in the Southeastern Conference. It's 15th ranked Tennessee on top of Vanderbilt by a count of 28-20. Back to Nashville right after this.
Efforts by league football players. Today's honoree is senior center Jason Respert from the University of Tennessee. A member of UT's Student Athlete Advisory Committee since 2002, Jason is a regular volunteer with a local Boys and Girls Club and other community service organizations. He's also been a frequent visitor to Knoxville area hospitals during his career at Tennessee. Call to Recycle.org is proud to salute Jason Respert for being named a member of the SEC Good Works team.
We've got a good one here in the Music City as the Vanderbilt band takes the field. 28-20, the Commodores trailing 15th ranked Tennessee here on Senior Day in Nashville. Last game of the regular season for the Commodores. The Vols move on to wrap up the regular season in Neyland Stadium against Kentucky next week, and then they hope on to the SEC championship game. There you take a look at our Advanced Auto Parts SEC drive to the championship standings. Here's the deal now. Tennessee wins today. They are in the championship game against the Auburn Tigers. Georgia still very much in the BCS hunt as well. Vanderbilt and Kentucky with 1 win each. And, of course, the Auburn Tigers a little bit later today, the Iron Bowl against Alabama. Not only would that be a sweet victory in any year for Auburn, but it would complete an unbeaten run through the SEC for Tommy Tuberville's Tigers. Coming up next Saturday at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central, our last game of the 2004 season, Kentucky and Tennessee. The Vols are looking for their 20th straight win over the Wildcats behind a defense that is led by safety Jason Allen and linebacker Kevin Burnett. Don't forget our Cooper Tires SEC Football Today precedes our game coverage. Next week, kicked is long and high and spinning. Good! And we'll get you set up for the SEC championship game and tell you what's happening as the bowl picture and how it pertains to SEC teams. We'll also check in with Tennessee defensive coordinator John Chavis and his friend, the #1 Vol fan, NASCAR driver Sterling Marlin. Be sure to join us noon Eastern, 11 o'clock Central for the show, followed by the game a half hour later. I can't imagine a better way to wrap up your Thanksgiving weekend. We hope this is beginning a great holiday weekend for you and yours. They've got some Thanksgiving here in the Volunteer State. We're coming back with more right after this word from your local SEC station. They've got reason to dance here at Vanderbilt so far. The Commodores, big underdogs, but they trail the 15th-ranked Tennessee Vols by a count of 28-20. Folks, go to Yahoo Sports to see over 50 JP Sports SEC football and basketball games.
Zone territory. Tennessee takes advantage. Usually, Dave, those are the kind of plays that, well, I guess you could say Vanderbilt just kind of mails it in after
Takes
that.
the heart out of you.
But they haven't done that. What's been the key to that?
Well, I think the big key was that 80-yard touchdown. They were about ready to fold their tent, and all of a sudden they got that 80-yard touchdown strike, and that just gave them life, both offensively and defensively, Dave.
We have had a lot of highlights here in the first half of this football game. As a matter of fact, Vandy hadn't scored in 3 years, but not the case today.
Well, Cutler started off with that fumble and gave Tennessee great position, field position. They turned right around to Cedric Houston. He roars up the middle at 7-0, and everybody goes, oh no. Then they come right back again. Cedric Houston breaks to the outside. Now they're up 14-0, and people are going, oh brother, here we go. But Cutler threw a beautiful pass to the end zone. I mean, just a perfect throw. Then he comes back again, gives a little toss out here to Jennings. Jennings goes in the into the end zone, and everybody's going, wow, what a difference. The 80-yard touchdown was huge.
Tail end of that touchdown as we take a look at our Hyundai halftime stats and time of possession, 17 minutes, 19 seconds down at the bottom of your screen there for Vanderbilt. I mean, they've even outgained the ball.
Well, they had that long drive, Dave, you know, that one where they came all the length of the field and scored. That really put time of possession in their favor. The 2 turnovers have been costly by Vanderbilt, as you discussed.
And Tennessee turned it over on an interception, and Vandy marched at 77 yards for a touchdown. Well, in support of Hyundai's ongoing commitment to education, Hyundai Motor America is pleased to contribute to the SEC General Scholarship Fund the amount of $1,000 to be distributed equally among its member institutions. We've got 2 more quarters of football. Vandy's got it before they call it a season. Do they have a surprise in store for the Vols? We'll find out. To 20, Tennessee out in front. Moments ago, Dave Baker caught up with Bobby Johnson.
Bobby, they got off to a quick start, but I thought your guys got your feet underneath them and really played well the second part of the first half.
I was proud of them the way we came back. We battled and got back in the football game, but we got to do something with it in the second half.
You've really been able to keep them off balance, I think, offensively.
We have little short passes. We turn into long passes, ran a little option here and there. Hopefully we can continue to do that.
All right, Bobby, best of luck
Thank
second
you.
half. That's Bobby Johnson, Dave, and yes, there will be a change of kickers in the second half. If they go for extra points or field goods, it will be Aptina Ramanesh who will now be called upon instead of Johnson, Dave.
All right, thank you, Buzz. Patrick misses 2 extra points and missed one last week, and that 1-point loss to Kentucky. And there is Aptina Ramanesh. He will do the kicking off as he has done. Broke his knuckle earlier this year and had to give up a game where he couldn't catch the snap on punts. And you see his strong leg all the way through the end zone. Well, let's take another look at our all-tell players to watch for today's game. And, well, you see the vote. 77% of you decided that Kevin Burnett so far is having a better game than Jay Cutler. And remember, SEC fans, visit texttoWinMVP.com and see how you can enter for a chance to win $1 million simply by using your Alltel wireless phone.
And Dave Burnett plays well. That's the one tackle he had, obviously. But how about Cutler throwing that ball? Great confidence. He's thrown it several times to Brandon Smith. This is that 80-yarder. He's got a lot of confidence. That was some different kind of voting.
First play of the second half goes to Cedric Houston. Hit by Kelechi Ohanija, gain of 12. That's the first tackle for Ohanija this afternoon. Ohanija, 60 tackles, second on this club. You see the first half possessions for Tennessee. First 4 times they touched it, they put it in the end zone. Then they threw an interception. They had to punt, and then it was the end of the half.
Now they need to come out and establish what they do well. They run the football. They pass those little short passes, but they're a power team.
There's some power for you. Cedric Houston out over the 40 to the 42. Andrew Pace, the safety, makes the stop. And Dave, I told you, we talked about it. I said it back in the first quarter. It just seemed like Tennessee lost that little edge that they had when they scored 2 quick touchdowns to start this game. And it looks as though they may have that edge back after a little halftime discussion.
Yeah, discussion? Is that what you called it?
Yeah.
I've been in those locker rooms. It's not discussion. I can promise you Phil Fulmer was upset.
Only needed a yard for the first down. We'll see where they spot him, but Houston got stood up by Eric Byram. And we'll see where they mark it. That'll be close to the first down. By the way, Cedric Houston now number 6 all-time on UT's rushing list. Almost 2,400 yards, 2,371 to be exact. He's passed 3 balls today. Travis Stevens, Reggie Cobb, and Kurt Watson. We told you about Michael Munoz's little shoulder problem. Let's get an update on that from Buzz.
Yeah, what they're doing, Dave, is they're now calling it a shoulder strain, and his return is listed as questionable. Because of that, what they have done is they have flipped the tackles. Aaron Sears is now playing left tackle. Victor McClure, the tight end as well, he is out. They x-rayed his finger. They had to suture it up. He's out, so Justin Reed in at tight end now as well.
Nice play call. They swing it out to Corey Anderson, the fullback. A gain of 17. Bill Alford brings him down, but boy, injuries continue to mount on that offensive front.
Yeah, good play fake there. Now come out to the flat, throw it out there. Anderson, watch Anderson. He almost jumps over top right there. But, you really have to credit Tennessee. I mean, they came in here. They had 3 offensive line changes. Now they've got their 4th offensive line change.
Now Bill Alford looks like he might have tweaked ankle. He's limping around from his cornerback position. Here's Houston, falls forward to the 35-yard line. Jonathan Goff will get credit for the stop, a gain of 5.
Boy, and they run that play so well behind Rob Smith, number 52. He's a power blocker, right guard, drives them off the ball. They got a big guy. Prue is in at center, too. I see that, number 67. Good to see him getting some playing time. You see him there in the picture, number 67.
Yeah, Jason, he has a bad ankle, does Prue. Respert also has a bad ankle. He didn't play last week, not playing this week. Actually went to the hospital with a hand infection earlier this week as well, just to mount his problems. Down to the 20, caught by Chris Brown, tied in. Nice play from Tennessee and a good throw from Rick Clausen, and that picks up 17.
Absolutely good play. They run the tight end off the field deep. He's going to run deep. He's running shallow. He dumps it to the deep, got him in the deep position there. That's Chris Brown, number 28. Again, run him off. A lot of options right here. Nice square up there by Rick Clausen. Square his shoulders up to the line, deliver a strike. Doesn't throw off balance. I really like the way Clausen has played.
Vanderbilt will take a timeout. Bobby Johnson not happy the way his defense has let this Tennessee team march down the field. So Tennessee has been marching it since they took this second half kickoff. 7 plays. They started at the 20 and they sit now at the Vanderbilt 18. The toss. Houston strung out by that Vanderbilt defense, but Houston still finds a way to pick up 4 on the play. Jovan Hay finally brings him down, but man, there were 5, 6, 7 black jerseys over there that could have cost them a couple of yards and loss.
Yeah, 5 or 6 that missed tackles. You can't miss tackles in a game like there. There's 1 missed tackle. There's 2, 3. And you can't miss tackles like that. You've got to bring them down, especially a running back. Bruce Fowler, defensive coordinator, that doesn't make him happy.
No, that will chap the backside of that man.
Yes, it would.
Bruce Fowler.
Hey, you can sound more like a defensive lineman.
See, you got me going with the up-chucking on the bench thing earlier. Here's a little reverse. It's going to Meacham and nowhere. That time the Vandy defense plays it well, and that'll make their coach a little bit happier, at least for the next 20, 30 seconds.
Amen. That was greatly played, wonderfully played by Eric Byram. Gets to the outside. Byram is 27. He's going to get to the outside. See him turn it back in. Plays off. The defender comes back in for help. He got a little bit of help from number 47, Goff. But great backside containment. That's why that play was stopped.
He won't be smiling today. I can pretty much guarantee you that. Tennessee has been near perfect on 3rd down conversions.
Here comes some pressure.
Clausen steps up, fires. Played well by that Vanderbilt secondary. They'll rule it incomplete. Intended for Tony Brown. Batted out of there by Andrew Pace.
Well, David, Pace had to play this thing perfect. Number 36. They're going to drive to the corner and watch Pace come up. He can't hit him too early, and he does it. And you see him rip the arms down from the backside. Pulls the arms down. That's what you want to do if you're behind a receiver. You pull the arms down right there. You see him pull those arms away. Good play.
34-yard field goal attempt for James Wilhoit. 7 of 12 in the field goal department this year. The kick is up. And it is right down the heart. So that makes it an 11-point game with 10:36 to go here in the third quarter. Tennessee takes the opening kickoff of the second half and puts points on the board. James Wilhoit, the sophomore out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, will kick it off again. Lorenzo Parker stands deep for Vandy. A short kick that will come down at the 20 and fumbled, but the Commodores will recover it. Ronnie Swoops falls on it. That could have been dangerous.
Oh, absolutely.
Going to be first and 10 Vanderbilt.
Next week, we'll wrap up our Jefferson Violet SEC football coverage as we will head east of Nashville and join you from Knoxville as Kentucky comes to town. As they'll wrap up the SEC regular season as well, 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central. And log on to JP. Cutler playing on a bad wheel, has a sprained ankle, limped off to end the first half. See how healthy he is, and movement up front. Jesse Mahalona moved, and then that caused Brian Kovaliski to jump out of his stance. So this
the crossback coming back against the grain, misdirection plays. And for John Chavis, he's telling the big guys up front, you got to put pressure on them.
1st and 5 certainly helps Ted Kane, the offensive coordinator, in his plan. But Doster loses 3 as he trips up, but a flag down on the far side of the field to line of scrimmage. See what this is.
I'm not so sure that Tennessee didn't jump off sides again. I saw a flinch. Now, whether they got in the neutral zone or not, I don't know. Nope, illegal motion. So they get their 5 yards back, Dave.
So do you make it 1st and 10 or do you make it 2nd and 8?
I'm glad I'm not the head coach on that call. 2 schools of thought. I think I'd make it 1st and 10.
On the offense, penalties decline.
Yeah.
2nd down.
I should have said 2nd down and 10 because he lost yardage on the play, which got it back to the 10 yards. But now
well, they say they lost 5 on that. I thought he lost 3 on the. Doster lost 3 on that play. But they'll say he lost 5 and move it back to the 21-yard line.
11. Here we go.
Out of the I formation, Doster in a tailback. Cutler will hand it off to Quane. Quane to the outside, and he picks up the 1st down. And coming off a pretty good game last week when he ran for 84 yards against Kentucky on 12 carries. The 2002 SEC Freshman of the Year. There's Smith again, out over the 40 to the 42-yard line.
Have confidence when you make those catches and make your quarterback look good.
So 2nd down and short, 2nd and 2 this time for Vandy. They'll run the option. Cutler keeps it. It is nailed.
Oh, I can't believe what he did, though. He taunted him after it. You don't do that. Oh, no.
Yeah, you don't want to stand over the guy and after the big hit, just back off. Celebrate with your team.
Oh, man.
It's the old bring attention to yourself.
Oh, Dave, that is...
Cutler kicked him as well. So, you know, there was a response there as well. So I'm anxious to see how we'll...
Wow.
Cutler did kick him.
Well, Gaither just levels him. Watch this. 44, bang, hits him. But then he stands over top of him. Look at him. You see him talking at him? Now, you're right. On that tail end of that play, watch Cutler put the feet up on him. Right in there. He puts the feet up on him.
There's no need for that. Absolutely not. There is absolutely no need for that.
You're right. I mean, that was a marvelous tackle. and it's negated by a
turn around and celebrate with your teammates.
You're exactly right. There's too much of that going on. You don't need that.
Saw where it got you last night in the NBA.
John Chavis, I promise you, he'll bring Omar Gaither, number 44, over the sideline and talk to him.
But I will say this, that was a whale of a hit.
Oh, it was a stick.
Cutler going deep, looking for it all, and Smith can't catch up with it. That ball hung up in the air forever. Jonathan Hefney on the coverage. Smith, he's getting a workout today.
He is. He's gone to him a lot. That time he just had him on a post pattern and threw it up saying, hey, we'll just let you see if you can get it. But, boy, I just can't get over Gaither. What a marvelous tackle, and then to mess it up.
Omar Gaither, career high 11 total tackles early in the season against Louisiana Tech. Linebacking core that has been depleted with injuries. Flags come down.
Dead ball. Illegal substitution on the offense. Broke the huddle with 12 players. A 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Boy, that moves you to 2nd and 15. That's what Ted Kane said that they just cannot have. He said 2nd and 15, 3rd and 10s. It'll be a long day for us if we're in that situation, and that's what they look at right now. Ted Kane, the offensive coordinator, of course, up in the box.
Well, Vanderbilt has worked well on the outside corners on those two freshmen. I want to see if they'll go back again. That's where they got the one-on-one situation. Top of the screen there, bottom of the screen here. They've got one-on-one situations. But now can you get enough time back there?
Here's the option, McKenzie. Makes one man miss, not much happening there. He gets it back to the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on the carry. Jason Mitchell played it well. That will bring up a 3rd down and about 12.
Well, this answers Cutler's ankle. He flips the ball out there, but credit Tennessee. They play that ball so well. Get great fill from the inside from their middle linebacker. Slide it along, nowhere to cut back. Bring him down short. Now, 3rd down. You think that Vandy needs a big one? They need a big one. Again, they go to one-on-one coverage. Now, they might have the safety drop back in the zone to help out on the outside. You see him standing in the slot right there.
4 receivers on 3rd and 13. Cutler has time. Now he's flushed. Being chased. Lobs it up, and it's picked off. Picked off by Jason Allen. A Thorpe Award semifinalist. Adds his 3rd interception of the season. And it's the 3rd Cutler turnover today. 2 fumbles and an INT.
I don't know who Cutler was throwing to. He was flushed out of the pocket going left. I have no idea. He's going to come out of the pocket this way here. Let's see who he's throwing to. Show me somebody in the zone. Maybe. Oh, I see. He was going out there to Brandon Smith, number 80, but he just never got anything on the ball. When he comes out of here, I wonder if he gets hit or whether he just doesn't square up. No, the ball just floats on him. He had 80, Brandon Smith behind him, but a poor decision, poor choice.
Here's Houston. He's got some room to midfield to the 47-yard line. 1st down, gain of 13. Brought down finally by Eric Byram.
Boy, I just love the way that young man right there just runs the ball. Hard worker in there, carries it, doesn't complain. You don't see him getting up saying, hey, look at me. He's just a workhorse out there. Look at that jersey, all covered in grass and green.
He's been busy today. 15 carries, 84 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Here's the toss sweep to Cedric. Breaks 4 tackles, gets a block. 5 tackles. Finally, the 5th man, Dominique Morris, held on. But as Cedric says, Coach, I've been doing a lot today, but please let me catch my breath.
Well, this is going to be a run. Nowhere to go out here. Look at this. This is all the way 15 yards from the center, and he breaks it all the way back out. You see the rip downs, picks up a couple good blocks. Good block there, good tackle there by Morris. the defense on the backside, there's no backside containment. You got to have somebody coming down that line, backside containment, somebody who comes from over there, Dave.
Straight ahead handoff. Gerald Riggs down to the 21-yard line. Boy, when you can go from one back that's 220 to another one that's 220, and they both know what they're doing when they get their hands on it, that's hard to stop. Gain of 19.
Well, they complement each other so well. Big credit that big line. Give him a hole. Good block downfield. Then he just runs out of another tackle. Stiff arms there, and he's fresh. Remember, you just talked about Cedric Houston taking that deep breath. Gerald Riggs says, hey, put me in a little bit, coach. I'll run. And he does. They complement each other so well.
Out of the eye. Clausen looking to the bench. Looking for the Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator, for his change.
You better hurry.
Play clock to 3. Drops the snap. Loose football. Clausen, reaches with his fingernails and pulls it back in.
Dave, when he missed the tailback, there was nobody back there to get that ball. If he doesn't come up with this football, the tailback's going to go by him. See, he's gone. Now, look right there. Oh, man, if that thing takes a bounce the other way.
Loss of 6.
Also 6 yards on the play.
All right, if you're Vandy, you got to stop him. 3rd down to 15, you got to come with some pressure. If you're Tennessee, it's only 2nd down 15, I should say, but you got to stop. You got to come with some pressure. If you're Clausen, find one of your wideouts, pick up about 8 yards. Oh, doesn't need to.
Inside handoff. Gerald Riggs down to the 10. That's close to a first down. I think he got it.
What a call. That faked me out. I'm thinking pass all the way when you're looking at 2nd and about 16. They run this direction. They run over here and come back against the grain. Look at this. Now look, right there's a good block. There's nothing in there. That's where he's going to run. Look at this hole. Now cut back, pick up a couple more blocks. Man, Vandy missing tackles. Again, look at that hole.
How about Houston? 90 yards on the ground, Riggs 80 yards. Trying to add to that total. Powers his way down to the 5. They can pick up a first down. However, it'd have to be at about the 3-inch line.
Well, Gerald Riggs saying, sit down over there, Houston, and rest. It's my time. Yeah, you see, there's the first down marker right in there. So they can, as you say, they can make a first down, Dave.
Well, this running game is something they didn't see against Notre Dame a couple of weeks ago. You see what they averaged for the first 7 games and what they produced against Notre Dame. But today, Riggs and Houston have been churning it out. 7th play of this drive, they've all been on the ground.
It's an interesting call. He looks back to the offensive coordinator, gets the call. Now he's got to make it. There's Randy Sanders.
To the end zone, incomplete. Hannon was the intended target. Looked like he looked inside. The pass went outside.
Yeah, I thought Hannon was turning back inside. Yeah, he is. See him, he's looking inside. Ball's back to his backside. He gets a hand on it, but he's supposed to bend to branch to the outside. But I'm surprised they threw the ball. They've been chunking up yardage here. 3rd down and 5 now.
7 of 9 on 3rd downs this afternoon. They can pick up that first down. However, it'll be very close to the goal line. Clausen fires. Touchdown, Tennessee. Jason Swain, his 2nd of the afternoon.
Well-conceived play. They ran just a little dart back to the post. They cleaned out underneath, came back on a dart to the post. And he throws the strike. I told you I like Clausen's delivery. This is good vision. He waits for Swain. You'll see him flash from left to right in your screen, back of the end zone. They ought to be upset. Bill Alford, he missed coverage on that. He thought outside. He thought he had some help inside. Didn't have it.
Will Hoyt, point after, is perfect. Been a busy man this afternoon. It's now 38-20. Tennessee out in front. 4:44 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Back after a word from your local stations. Mascot Kenny Chesney, big fan of Tennessee football. Surprised he's not here watching his Vols play. You know, maybe he'll show up next week. I want to give him the forum to give his acceptance speech. The Entertainer of the Year in country music didn't have a chance to say thanks. So next week, Kenny, if you're listening, come on up. Thank whoever you need. Lorenzo Parker wants to thank a few blockers, getting them out to the 30-yard line. Well, another impressive drive for Tennessee. They've had a bunch of them today, but the last one goes 59 yards, 8 plays, ate up 3 minutes and 18 seconds, and that successful drive means another $500 to the SEC's education initiative, courtesy of Safe Auto Insurance Company. Call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. You too can be a successful driver.
Well, Dave, there's a lot of time left, 4:30 and 4:37 in the third quarter. You can't go 3 and out in this situation. You go 3 and out, you just put too much pressure on your defense. Got to move the chains, got to get something going. Again, look to what you did best. You found Brandon Smith a bunch in that first half.
Cutler hit as he throws, pass is caught, and White gets tagged at the...
Man is just a tired, he's a tired warrior.
Well, you know, his coach says that, you know, he can't get a straight answer from him in terms of injuries. He keeps everything inside. It's hard to tell when he's so hurt that he can't play because he'll stay out there. Gets hit again. Hits his tight end. It comes back across the middle. Lloyd still powering his way and picks up 5, and Cutler slow back to his feet. Kevin Burnett finally makes the tackle, but, you know, and Dave, you know, you talk to Bobby Johnson, and he says, you know, he has to grab him leaving the field sometimes and say, and look him in the eye, nose to nose, and say, I need to know, are you okay?
Yeah, that's the sign of a warrior when you don't care about you know, being hurt. You just go back out there and want to play. I like him. I like his tenacity. I just wish he had more of a running game.
McKenzie showing you a little bit of that running game, Dave. That's to the 45 of Tennessee, gain of 10. Let's check in with Dave Baker. Buzz.
You know, Dave, you talk about that pounding that Jay Cutler's taken. It's been since the second week of the season that Vanderbilt's had an off week, and Tennessee just coming off the opposite sort of similar situation, rather. They went 9 straight weeks without an off week, and Philip Fulmer said that if they had to go last week, that they would have had 15 guys who would have been out or would have been limited. And it is just a long, arduous process anyway throughout the season. But to go as long as the Commodores have without an off week, you can understand why it's tough for Bobby Johnson to get that straight answer.
Yeah, they had the week off. Week number 2. Cutler all day to throw. Over the head of Doster. Doster broke back at the 20-yard line, and had that ball been a little bit lower, he makes a big gain.
Boy, that's misdirection play. What you do is you fake it to Doster coming out of the backfield. He fakes it to him right in here and then lets Doster go on back around to the outside. Now he throws it back, and when he does, he deliver it high. You're right. If that ball had been right on, that would have been a big, huge gainer. But nice little play fake, come back to him.
It lists Doster at 5'11". He's probably closer to 5'9", which is perfect height if you're asking me.
Oh, yeah.
Over the middle, there's the guy that's been open all day, Brandon Smith, wrapped up at the 35-yard line.
Out, they haven't.
And Vanderbilt may have to take their second time out here. Whistles have blown.
Yeah.
No, they're just going to reset the 25-second clock. I saw Chris Young walking off the field like perhaps it was a timeout. You don't want to burn those timeouts. Vanderbilt already has used one this half. In the eye, play fake to McKenzie. Cutler will throw, has time again. Marlon White down to the
Action on that play. What he did is he ran a little drag across the field. See him slide. Now he's going to come off and come back across field and run underneath. And Cutler sees that big target.
Been a busy day for Matt Austin and company. Buzz, what happened?
Jonathan Lloyd, tight end. He was coming in. He was trying to block hard at the end after the play was already blown dead. Got called for a personal foul trying to get in a late block, late hit, and that'll take him back 15.
And boy, doesn't that.
The play results in a first down. After the play, dead ball, personal foul, number 89 of the offense. That's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
There's Tennessee. John Chavis in the middle of that huddle. He has done a marvelous job. And, you know, you just think about all the injuries and the situation that he was faced with this year.
Oh, yeah.
coming into this season, so many question marks. I mean, he has had to do some patchwork with that group, and they have really done a nice job. I've just been impressed with what Coach Chavis has been able to accomplish with this group. Missing some key players and losing some to the NFL, and I just admire the work he's done with this group.
Well, I'll tell you one mark of a great coach is when it's year after year after year. Remember Tennessee a few years ago, they had John Henderson, who was the big guy out there, and he just carried the defense. He just keeps on replacing people, and he never loses that level of play that they play at. So when he goes after somebody, he tells me, he says, listen, you're going to play, you're going to be a star, and they believe him. That's how you recruit.
Jason Allen's turned into a pretty good one. Jesse Mahalona certainly has some name recognition now, and Kevin Burnett, we've known about him now for quite some time. Just to name a few of the big players. Well, that defense gets hit for a size. Cutler 5 of 6, 51 yards on this drive. Here's a little reverse to Brandon Smith. Cutler out there blocking. Smith trying to get the corner, and too much speed in the white jerseys. Rashawn Fellows and Jason Allen converge to make the tackle.
I got nailed on the block by Cutler. You're going to see him toss here, come back, and Cutler, number 6, is going to be blocking. Look there, there's that vicious block by the quarterback. But Brandon Smith just too far to run. Too far to run in Tennessee with that great speed back there.
Well, there's Obteen Aronimish. If Vandy needs to take a field goal, he will now handle those duties, as Patrick Johnson has been, requested to kind of be a bystander here in the second half after missing 2 extra points today. Pass is caught by Marlon White inside the 25. They'll mark it close to the 23-yard line.
And Dave, one thing that Cutler is doing, I think I really like, is he's not going after the home run, trying to pick up when you got second down or third down and plus yardage over 10. Pick up 6 or 7 yards, try to get it up there, get a good field position, but don't take a chance. Don't force the ball into trouble.
Well, that'll probably be the last play of the third quarter. It was 28-20 at the break, and Tennessee scores 10 points here in the third quarter to build their lead to 18. They led it 28-6 at one point. It's been interesting, to say the least. We've had quite a few highlights today. Come back for the fourth quarter right here on Jefferson Pilot Sports. To get to the 15, and he does. He gets it all the way down to the 11-yard line.
Well, the thing about it is they've lost some leads this season, Dave, that we've talked about, but during the course of this season, you talk about things you need to do to turn the corner as a program. Vandy's only scored 7 in the fourth quarter all year. They've not scored in the fourth quarter in a conference game.
Toss sweep. Jeff Jennings go for the 2-point conversion after the mixed extra point on their last touchdown. They've converted 1 2-point conversion already this afternoon. Cutler lobs it up, intended for his fullback Matthew Tan, who has 8 receptions this year, but just too much. But it's a 12-point game, 38-26. The Commodores hanging in there with 14:45 to go in the football game. Don't buy. 12-point game. Tennessee leading Vanderbilt 38-26. Commodores haven't won in this series since 1982. That's 21 straight wins for Tennessee.
But they haven't scored 26 points in a long time.
Well, they hadn't scored 3 years prior to today. Ramanesh will kick it off. A good kick. Sails 3 yards deep into the end zone for Hefney. Jonathan Hefney hit at the 15 and stopped right there. Let's go down to Clemson and South Carolina and show you what happened in Clemson as the Tigers were leading that, getting close to a minute to play in that contest.
No, it's not a part of the game anymore. I don't care what people say. It's not a part of the game. Might have been years ago to prove how tough you are, but not anymore.
Well, here it's 2nd down and 10 for Tennessee. This has been a fun game today.
Boy, it has been. A lot of looking to the sideline, and Vandy, if they can come up with a stop, get the ball back.
but they just keep handing it off tackle to Riggs or Houston, and it's been pretty effective.
And Dave, you know, dissecting that play that they just ran there, the tailback runs so much. And Randy Sanders told us that they saw that when they went to the Atlanta Falcons several years ago. It's a zone block up front by the line. The fullback leads up into the hole. He picks the first opposite color jersey, and then the tailback gets the ball and finds the seam. They've run it over 250 times coming into this game.
Here's a 3rd down and 2 situation. Tennessee 8 of 10 today in that department. Some pressure coming. Here's a little blitz. Oh, nice play call. Riggs to the outside. Makes a man miss to the 40. Gerald Riggs still on his feet. Riggs to the 30, to the 25. Dominique Moores finally runs him down, but not before Riggs picks up 52 yards.
Well, they may criticize Randy Sanders for something else, but not play calling. This is a marvelous play. You use his speed. Gerald Riggs gets the outside. He breaks 2 tackles. Right there's one. He stiff arms right here, gets picked off right there. That's a 2nd tackle, and he is off. They turned 3rd down and 2 into a 50-yard gain. Vandy with 14 missed tackles in this game. You can't win that way.
Here's Riggs, who I'm probably sucking a little wind right now. He didn't think, just wanted to get on the ground, but our Texaco 3rd quarter stats a little late with all the activity going on. But how about Vandy with 308 yards? Tennessee's 163 yards through the air. I'd say that's pretty good balance. I didn't think we'd see that kind of balance today.
No, and the big one is that 21 points, Dave, off the turnovers. Got great field position. They capitalized on it.
Rick Clausen, his ability to throw the football today has been a real bonus for Tennessee. You just can't load up and try to stop the run when the quarterback's throwing it pretty well. Not a bad throw there, but incomplete. Tony Brown, the intended receiver. Andrew Pace on the coverage.
Well, when you get down in this situation, if you're Tennessee, you don't want to make a mistake. Surprise him. Pulls it out there, throws it. But Randy Sanders is right there saying, okay, coach, what do we want to do in this situation? And Philip Fulmer gives him a lot of leeway. Tells him he sets the philosophy for him, and then he calls what the play should be.
Clausen today's pretty good numbers. Got off to an excellent start. Has slowed down a little bit, but still a couple of touchdowns, 163 yards, 14 of 23 on the afternoon. Over the middle. Just as I said it, it's picked off by Kevin Joyce. Great hands from Joyce.
We talked about number 40 filling in for Moses Asimwaji. You see what?
I guess I jinxed him.
Yeah, I just was saying, don't need to make a mistake here. Don't force the ball, and he does.
Both teams have scored over every turnover today. That's 5 total. Oh, big hit on the outside. Matthew Tant met Jonathan Hefney.
Boy, and Hefney's one of those freshmen playing out there. Watch Jonathan Hefney, 33. Going to come back on the ball. This is how you tackle. You see those arms go out? You wrap them up. You don't just try to roll block them. You wrap them up. Well schooled, just a freshman.
Cutler today thrown for 236 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Bobby Johnson looking on.
And we find Brandon Smith again. Oh, offsides. Ryan Stamper.
The sophomore. I don't want to keep a team hanging around.
That's exactly right.
You got to put them away, and a score there might have just done it for Tennessee, but instead, you need your defense to stand tall. Cutler looking for a seam. Falls forward to the 23.
Right back to number 80. That's a great call. He has caught the ball. Brandon Smith has caught everything. There's Ted Kane.
They also bring out Quane Doster to the near side. So four receivers out. Tant, the fullback, stands next to Cutler, who's in the shotgun. There's a slant and no flag. And the Vanderbilt bench erupts. And now Young pushes Burnett. Lucky he didn't get a flag. Hefney on the coverage. The Vanderbilt bench just, boy, they lit up.
Wow, that ball was way up in the air. You know, I think there was contact. Let's watch it again. There's Hefney, 33. Where's the contact? That's a little early.
That's a little bit early, Dave.
Oh, that's early.
I'm
yeah,
not
absolutely.
trying to play referee, but that's a little early. That's interference.
We've seen that called a bunch this year, but not that time. So on 4th and 8, Hieronymus to punt it away. Low line drive, takes a bounce. Favorable for the Commodores, down to the 38. That's the kind of season it's been for Vandy. Just can't catch that break. Back after this.
Michael, I need someone to work late tonight. I know it's after 5, and I know you probably have plans. By the way, you smell really good. Thank you.
Introducing Red Zone Body Wash from Old Spice. With 8-hour scent technology, the great smell lasts all day, whether you want it to or not.
Yeah, you do smell good.
New Red Zone Body Wash.
For the first time ever on a 3-disc DVD, Tiger. The true story authorized by the champion himself. Including a front row seat to Tiger's golf clinic.
The key to golf is always being pin high.
With never-before-seen footage and exclusive interviews. His life.
My father always used to tell me, you know, if you work hard, you're going to get results.
His majors. His legacy. Tiger, the authorized DVD collection. Own it today.
If you want to crush it off the tee,
stick it on the green. Or just be able to find it after you hit it.
We're here to tell you, all you need is 3.
3.
Introducing the 3 Club Tour, developed by ESPN Golf Schools, presented by Lexus. Register now and receive 3 clubs free. To find out more, log on to ESPNGolfSchools.com or call us. All students will have a chance to enter the Lexus Hole-in-One Challenge. Tee it up, knock it in. A hole-in-one wins you a Lexus.
What's classic?
Let the celebration begin.
Classic is.
Touchdown, Nebraska.
Classic was.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Classic will always be.
All the band is out on the field. Holy mackerel. Our turnaround shot in the air. Let's do it. And this one will last a lifetime.
Now that's classic.
Just over 10 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. 38-26. Tennessee out in front. They take over and will try to not only chew up some yardage, but chew up some time off that clock. Handoff gets a yard, maybe 2 on the play. Kevin Joyce with another tackle. Riggs has gotten most of the work here the last few series after Cedric Houston put on a pretty good show.
And now if you're in that Tennessee huddle, you're saying, hey, big boys up front, blow them off, tie them up, get some seams, move those chains, get some yardage. That's all you want to do. You just want to keep on moving the chains, extend out the clock. They've got enough points to win, they think.
Swing pass. Played well this time. Gerald, thoughts about Rick Clausen despite 2 interceptions?
Well, I like his vision. He threw out there to Cedric Houston, picked up nice yardage. He's gone to Swain a couple times. Big catches, big hits. He's got a lot of confidence. His line's giving him good protection back there. This pass to Swain, this dart into the post, that was a well-thrown ball. Now, the interception, he forced it into trouble and had a great catch there by Joyce. Kevin Joyce, number 40. But I like, we talked about whether Schaefer would be back. I'll tell you, I think Clausen's thrown well.
Wide open over the middle. Pass is caught. Corey Anderson brought down at the 44-yard line. I tell you what, Rick Clausen does not look like somebody who was 3rd team on a depth chart.
Absolutely. Look at this. Standing back with poise. Waits for his big tight end to come across the middle and finds him. Big target. Throws him a nice ball. The ball is thrown in stride, which is a big part of completing a pass. And you're right. He doesn't get a lot of reps, but he's played well.
And there's Eric Haynes looking on. Also, you have to give some credit to that banged-up offensive line.
Absolutely.
Clausen almost completely clean.
Gosh, they've moved more people around there. They lost Respert, then they moved Gandian, then they had to lose Cody Douglas. They moved Sears. He's been all over the place.
Nice play on the outside by Dominic Morse. C.J. Phaeton makes The catch. Well, we showed you what happened in that game between Clemson and South Carolina. It's now a final 29-7 after a major brawl. Clemson now bowl eligible. Both those teams 6-5 in the year. Oklahoma putting it on Baylor 35-0. That's a final. Miami, Burton, Wake Forest, Boston College over Temple.
Dave, when you get under 8 minutes, that becomes run time. That's when you start eating up that clock. The clock is under 8 minutes. You've got second down and long yardage, but it's time to run the ball.
On second down and 8, Riggs is stopped.
Here's the big play, Dave. This is the big one.
Tennessee up over 400 total yards. Third down and 10. Joyce.
There's a blitz.
Here comes that pressure. Pass falls incomplete. Joyce nearly jumped off sides and made contact, but stopped just shy. And it's now 4th down.
Well, you are so right. Kevin Joyce, number 40, came in between the guard and center.
Well, let's play some football here in the 4th quarter. 6:46 to go. 3 days with you. Neal, Rowe, and Baker. What's been an entertaining afternoon of football here in Nashville. And be quite frank about it, I didn't really anticipate we'd have a 12-point game with 6:46 to go, but that's the story.
Yeah, not especially after about 5 minutes in that first quarter. Those turnovers killed Vandy, but they're still in it.
High pass, and it's caught! Oh, my goodness! Marlon White to the 30, to the 25. Jason Allen brings him down. My knuckle time for Philip Fulmer. I don't think he anticipated this. 12-point game. Vandy trying to make it a closer contest. To the end zone! Through the hands of Chris Young. A little more zip on that pass, and it's 6. Jason Allen on the coverage.
Wow, did Jason Allen make a recovery on the play? Chris Young had him beat to the corner of the end zone. And Jason Allen came from nowhere. Look at this. That ball is touchdown, and look at Allen come in there. But you know what? I'm not so sure Young just didn't drop that. Yeah. I thought it was good defense, but it's not. Jason Allen did get over there, but no. That's Chris Young just dropped it.
Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll hand it off to Jennings.
John Chavis is a guy, as you all know, he's a guy that likes to bring pressure. He's a guy that likes to make a lot of different things happen on defense. But because of this defense, because of the injuries, because of the young guys, despite the fact that a guy like Jason Allen has played so well, he's been really limited in terms of what he's done. If you remember back when he was talking about their win over Georgia, he called the same defense 8 straight times down the stretch, said about drove him crazy. But in terms of a situation like this, he's just getting his guys to try to play a base defense, play man up, and make the play.
Thanks, Buzz. And they've won 21 straight, and our Chick-fil-A nugget of today's game shows you it's the 3rd such streak in major college football. One opponent over another. Notre Dame has manhandled Navy to the tune of 41 straight wins. And Nebraska's taken Kansas 36 straight times.
Oh, he needs one now. Got 4 wideouts.
Incomplete on 3rd down, but with 5:40 and only 1 timeout left, Dave, I think you got to just play this out and see what happens.
You know what I'd do? I'd go right back to the same play. That was a bad pass by Jay Cutler, but number 80, Brandon Smith, he had the dart made. When he cut inside, he had separation from Hefty. So go right back to it. Why not? He's been the man of the hour today.
This could be your ball game right here. 4th down and 7. Caught! And a 1st and goal. Handoff, Jennings off the left side, takes it down to the 3-yard line. And the clock ticks. Remember, Vanderbilt only 1 timeout left.
Boy, Dave, you go back to missed extra points. They're right in it if they can score here.
7th play of the drive.
Let Scott stay right in this two tight end power eye. Go right back to Jennings. Let him have another shot at it.
Jennings the tailback. Will play fake to him. Cutler throws on the run.
Oh!
Caught! Touchdown! Justin Dunning. What a grab!
You will never see a tight end lean out, stretch out like this. Off the line, left side of your screen. Watch him stretch out. Oh my goodness. Oh, and he bobbled the ball, but still caught it. Off the.
Well, here's Optiner Anamesh, his first point after.
Oh.
It's good. It was ugly as heck, but it was good.
Ugly. Oh, man.
The Doors will take it. We got ourselves a 5-point game in Nashville. Stay with us. 3, Tennessee over Vanderbilt. 4.5 to play here in the football game. And Tennessee has their hands unit out as Vanderbilt may or may not go for an onside kick. Dave, what do you think?
Well, I think you kick it away. You've got 4:30. You've got one timeout. I think you try to hold him. But he's set up an onside kick position, so everybody thinks onside kick, I'm sure.
There it is. High kick. Tennessee has it.
I just don't like that early. I just don't like that. 4:30 left.
Well, Dave, there have been some miscues by Vandy that had they not occurred, Vanderbilt's in real good shape.
Yeah, this first fumble, this led to a touchdown. Tennessee recovers the football in great field position. Then Cutler again, trying to step up in the pocket, carries the ball carelessly and fumbles it again and gives Tennessee great field position. Then that interception where he was trying to throw to Smith, didn't get it. And that led to a third interception, gave Tennessee good field position.
They've also missed 2 extra points today. They did convert a 2-point conversion.
I just don't like that onside kick because you give Tennessee great field position now.
Houston picks up 3. Clock moves at 4:15 and counting. Tennessee, if they need them, does have 3 timeouts remaining. Not that they would want to use those at this particular juncture, but if something were to happen, they do have them.
Yeah, now if you're a quarterback, you're taught to look up at that play clock. See how many seconds are left. Let it go all the way down. Kicks down. Hey, gets down to 1 or 2. Snap the ball. Take your time.
Flags are down.
Oh, no, that stops the play. That stops the play. Especially if that's motion on the.
That'll move them back 5 yards. How about that?
Wow.
Third quarter, Ohio State. Hadn't been their year, but they certainly will have a big time tonight with a win over their rivals.
North Carolina became bowl eligible with their victory, Dave.
And that Virginia game is now 20-3 on top of Georgia Tech.
And Bruce Fowler, he needs his defense to step up. They need to use their timeout right in here. They get a stop.
Clausen rolls out, hits his fullback Anderson, and he stopped at the 40-yard line.
Now, do you save that timeout? 3:12 and clicking down.
Hanajah makes the tackle, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Dave, I've watched Philip Fulmer a lot of times on the sideline. He is not comfortable in this situation. You can just see the worry. I just can't believe that you don't call a timeout in here. Why not? They're just letting that clock go all the way down. Tennessee will say, we'll call a timeout with about 1 second. But look at the concern on that man's face. He's not had a pleasant day.
Well, I think they're going to wait until after 3rd down, determined to use that timeout. If they stop him here, they'll take the timeout perhaps. Vanderbilt will. So do you throw it? Do you run it? Well, I mean,
that's a big question. I think you have to throw a 3rd down and 8 because if you don't, you're going to come up with 4th down.
Well, Tennessee has come down to the wire a time or 2 this year in some of their games, and They've won 4 games by a total of 15 points. They beat number 11 Florida 30-28 on a 50-yard field goal by James Wilhoit with 6 seconds left. Then the Vols had 5 sacks, and well, David Green's pass fell incomplete in the end zone on the final play of the game as the Vols beat Georgia 19-14. And then 1 week later, freshman Eric Ainge took the Vols on an 83-yard touchdown drive in the 4th quarter to beat Ole Miss 21-17. And then the very next week, Alabama's Spencer Pennington threw an interception in the final minute deep in ball territory as the Crimson Tide lost 17-13. And the Vols lost a close game last week, losing by 4 or 2 weeks ago, I should say, losing by 4 to Notre Dame 17-13 up at Neyland Stadium.
Now, if I'm Vanderbilt, I know that Clausen has done that fake where he's rolled out to the weak side, naked, and thrown to his tight end coming off the line or a back coming off his wide receiver, I should say. I'd be real alert for that. He's used it 3 or 4 times. He's been very successful. Got to get backside containment and pressure.
Here's Houston. Stop! And he stays in bounds, but now Vanderbilt will use their timeout.
What a tackle. That was a great tackle. Ohanaja. Man, I mean, he came up and I mean, he just snatched him down. You don't do this to a big guy. Look at number 12. Just snatches him down.
So now Vandy is completely out of timeouts. It'll be 37. They'll be at the 37-yard line. Interesting. A lot of things going on right now.
Well, and Vandy's defense has played so well.
Well, there's still plenty of things that can happen here, but in case you were wondering, Tennessee has won 21 straight in this series. So it was 22 years ago, right here in Nashville, that Vanderbilt last beat Tennessee. It went down to the wire, as you might expect. Commodores were leading 21-14 early in the 4th quarter before the Vols. Johnny Jones ran 43 yards for a touchdown to tie it up. Then Vandy would regain the lead when Whit Taylor ran one in from the 1 as the Commodores went ahead 28-21. Now, with time ticking away, Tennessee tried for a touchdown to tie the game, but the Commodore defense held as Vandy won that game. That was the last time Vandy had a winning record. They went 8-4, went to a bowl, lost to Air Force in the Hall of Fame game that year. George McIntyre was the head coach here. Now it's Bobby Johnson. And Tennessee will bring out Colquitt, the best. I mean, that's probably the best weapon you got here.
Oh, yeah. Colquitt is great at dumping that inside the 10-yard line.
Well, as Kim Anderson, our spotter, said, he must practice punting in a silo. His last kick was a mile in the air and pinned Vandy at the 10-yard line, but not this time. So that'll bring it out to the 20. 2:16 to go in the game. Jay Cutler's had a marvelous afternoon. 21-32, 314 yards, 3 touchdowns. Let's check in with Dave Baker.
Hey, Dave, you hear that old phrase, you got to believe. I'm telling you right now, on the Vanderbilt sideline, they're believing. And they've got one of the best big play guys in the conference doing the trigger on this. They've got a world of confidence in Jay Cutler. This is a chance for him now to lead his team potentially on one of those program-changing drives.
I mean, I look at Bobby Johnson and I just, you know, how many times has he been in the 4th quarter and had this scenario? I mean, it's been over and over again for him.
And can Cutler do it? You know, he's got that bad ankle.
Cutler leveled, picked off. Rashawn Fellows to the 22 as Cutler was nailed as he let it go. Paris Harrelson hit Cutler right in the chops.
Oh, let me tell you, Harrelson saved his best pass rush for last. What he did is he did a swim move, came back underneath with a rip, and I mean, he was right in Cutler's face. Right side of your screen, look at him come back inside, right there. Look at that smash. Cutler never saw the ball. Never was able to follow through. Look at that, he had to get rid of it. Boy, and it was just a great, you see the swim move right there inside. Man, he was right in his face.
Harrelson has a couple of quarterback pressures today, a fumble recovery, a forced fumble, a sack, and 4 tackles today. And for Jay Cutler, just one more big hit. He's had a bunch of them this year. And now Tennessee will, I don't think they have to do anything. Just depending on how quickly they spot the ball. Closed caption for SEC football provided by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. So there's the play clock. Starts with 1:44. Jay Cutler, what a tough afternoon. He's fumbled it a couple of times, had a couple of interceptions, but when you ask him to do so much, those are the things that are going to happen. I mean, it's just inevitable. If somebody's going to be the playmaker on your team as much as he is, that's going to happen.
Well, absolutely, and he was in a tough position there. Yeah, sure, maybe he should have thrown the ball down, just grounded it, got rid of it, but he tried to make something happen.
Henderson on the carry. Henderson just shy of 100 yards today. I think he's got now 90. We'll give him 97 unofficially, 18 carries. Riggs, by the way, 16 carries, 149 yards today. That's a career high for that youngster. So pretty good day on the ground. Tennessee, with this win, they move on to the SEC championship game. They will face the Auburn Tigers in a rematch you know they are begging for after Auburn really embarrassed them earlier this year.
Absolutely. And one thing I just saw last play, and I wanted to make mention, we saw that big fight in South Carolina. I saw those Tennessee players walking over there, patting the Vanderbilt players on the shoulder, telling them they did a good job, they played hard. This has been a game of respect here by these two offensive and defensive lines.
Well, that should do it. By the time they reset it, we will call it a day. Vanderbilt came in here and gave them a fight that they won't soon forget, but it wasn't enough, as Tennessee will win this game 38-33. And with the win, Philip Fulmer captures the 2004 SEC Eastern Division Championship, and they now look to Kentucky next week. And then on December 4th, it's the SEC title game against the Auburn Tigers. Tennessee goes to 8-2, 6-1 in the SEC. Vanderbilt finishes this disappointing season 2-9 and 1-7. But Vanderbilt put on a show today. And let's check in with Dave Baker, who's with Philip Fulmer.
Philip, it's been a year of a lot of ups and downs, a lot of injuries, a lot of things you've had to battle back from. Certainly this was a battle today, but you're going to Atlanta as the Eastern Division champs.
We are. We're excited about that opportunity. We've got one more traditional rival against Kentucky. We're excited about what this football team has accomplished this year and all it's overcome to get to this point. So I got to take my hat off to the Vanderbilt kids and staff. They did a heck of a job, and I am excited to come in here and get the win.
The injury started early in the season, even before the season began. You made the decision to go with the young quarterbacks, and then they go out injured. It's just an awful lot that you've had to battle through this year.
Well, the young quarterbacks and our football team has just continued to show a lot of courage. We lost a couple guys today that weren't able to go on and continue to play, and it's been that kind of football team. I give great credit to the staff and great credit to our football team for having the fight that they've had, because it's been one of those kind of years, and particularly as young as we are, Dave. Sure. You know, as young a team as we're playing with right now, it's a special group of kids.
Rick came in here today. He hadn't been in that situation in a while, and he came in and he made some good decisions. Had the 2 interceptions, but made some good decisions overall.
Rick did a good job. We probably shouldn't have put him in that crossing route situation at that particular time in the takeoff. You know, that's one of those. It's a jump ball, and we probably should have done a better job of defending it. But I have great admiration for Rick. It's funny and ironic how it's come full circle. Yep. You know, they competed in the spring and off season and summer, and were very unselfish, Dave. Very unselfish to take the back seat to the freshman, and then he comes in and has a chance to lead us to the championship.
Philip, congratulations to you. Should be a great championship game. Thanks so much. That's Philip Fulmer. He goes to the locker room. His Vols, SEC Eastern Division champs. We're back with more right after this.